Are able to hear me? Hello. So when we done with this application.cs project items, so we will see the code that's listing over here. And there is a shutdown and the startup event handler where you can write your code, executes your code. Also, you can make the plugins of the add-ins. And this application also derives from an aggregate of Outlook application object. This allows you to access properties and the methods of the Outlook application objects, whatever the application object we are hiring, whatever the application object we are dealing with. So we have to look up the properties of the or the methods in the Outlook application object by writing the code such as this application or this dot inspectors dot count in this application class. So this application class, this will be used for the inspector. This will be used for the count in this application class. And this initial code in this application class is an Outlook add-in project that is used to denote just.inspectors.count and this application class. So this will be used from an aggregate of Outlook application object. This will be used to access the properties and methods of the Outlook application object by writing the code, we can say the add-in project that will be used in this.inspectors.count. And using system.windows.forms, using Microsoft Visual Studio, runtime, application time, Outlook. So this will be used as an add-in object. So this first part is an add-in that will be used for the startup and the shutdown event handlers. So whatever the data we have, whatever the style we have, so we are going to use the startup and the shutdown events. The namespace Outlook add-in 1, public partial class, this application startup. And there are two parts. One is index, one is the E, and this application object will be used for the startup, and that becomes a part of this application. This application is not the function. You can say this application is an object that is identifiable in the terms that is used to define what data we are using, what tools we are using for the data abstraction. So whatever the data we have used, whatever the polymorphism we have used, so we have used this application for the startup and the shutdown event where the object sender and the event ARGSE will be used with the startup and the shutdown. And this application shutdown, object sender, event ARGSE. Then there is a region. And this is not region, this is region. ESTO, designer generated code that includes a private void internal startup. This dot startup plus new system. Event handler, this application startup. Shutdown, new system. This is also a new system. Again, there are the event handler, this application startup and the shutdown. These two parts will be used for the internal startup. These two parts will be used with the VSTO designer generated code. And this part, we can say this includes what data we are using up, what scenario we are using up, that will be included in this application startup and the shutdown. Then after that, there is the end of the reason. Yes, we can say that these are the two functions that are very relevant in this designer generated code, or this we can say the startup or the shutdown event. But these two together combine with one, or as known as the internal startup. So this dot startup plus equals to new system, event handler, this application startup, this dot shutdown plus new system, event handler, this application shutdown. These are the two parts that will be used as a new system, as a, we can say the generated code that will be used as a startup and the shutdown events. And there's the end of the region after that, because we have finished with the we have finished with the internal startup, we have finished with the startup, we have finished with the shutdown. And looking at the listing, you might wonder about the use of the partial in the class definition, that uses the partial classes, that uses the new feature of the .NET that enables you to define part of a class in one file, another part of a class in second file, then compile them together or make them together compiled as a one class. And this will be used as a feature to hide additional generated code associated with this application class. So whatever the class we are using that helps to reduce the complexity of the class, because there are multiple we can say the function that is used in this class. So we have to reduce that. We have to we can say make the code compatible with the users. Okay, just 1 minute. So this application class has to reduce. Okay, wait. So when we are starting with the listing of admins project, that will be used through an email alias that contains a large number of the people. Unless you are vice president unit title, you probably do not want to be sending more than 125 people. So we're going to create add-in that will warn you if you do this. So this is a potentially career limiting move. So I want to send this email to 25,000 people message. So this is an additional random send event that is faced whenever a user sends an email. So we will add additional code to the startup method, additional method we are using up. This is known as the startup method that will be used in the this application.cs as a part of the item.counts item dot application dot listener dot code. So this is used with listener dot code and it is handled by the project, that is handled by the event handlers for the items and event. And because this application class derives from an aggregate of Outlook application object, where we can write this code or we can write the code this dot item string, because item string is an event raised by this application base class. So this application base class is an event that is installed that is used with this dot item string. This item string event handler takes an object parameter known as items, which is the outlook being present. So what is the outlook expectations? It is outlook criteria that is used, so that is being sent. And because item could be of any of the number of things, such as a meeting request or an email, that item will be passed as an object rather than a specific type. So whatever specific type, whatever that object we are taking out, that will be used as a meeting request or an email message. In the same way, when we move to the project, when we move to the application object, this is used as a specific type. And the item send event handler has a bool parameter that is passed by the reference known as a cancel that will set to true to prevent the outlook item being sent. So whatever the outlook item that is being sent, that is prepared for being sent for the outlook, for the outlook items. In our item sent event handler, we need to check to see whether the item parameter that is passed or which is passed as an object is actually an email or not. And the easiest ways to achieve is to use as a keyword to try to cast the item parameter to an outlook, whatever the item parameter that is used. So that is used as an outlook parameter that is used as item parameter to an outlook or mail item. And if the cast succeeds, if it succeeds, so the resulting value will be not null, and we will know that the item being sent is an outlook.mail item. The outlook.mail item will be used as an email message also. And we can then iterate to the recipients. We can then move to the recipient. We can forward the, or we can check out the loop that is used with the mail term object item and to check to see whether we are sending to any recipient list that includes more than 25 people. And each recipient object in the recipient collection has an address entry. That is for sure that it contains the address entry, property that returns an address entry object. The address entry object has a member property that returns a collection that will check the account of whatever the account they have. They will check whether this will be available with the account that will be needed to the dialog and ask a user if she really wants to send the mail. And if your user clicks the no button, for example, the user clicks no button. No, that is a probability. I'm not saying always it is no button. This is if. And if the user clicks on the no button, we will set the cancel parameters of the item send event to true. To cancel the sending of career limiting emails. So we will try to cancel whatever career limiting emails. Try to send out the email without sending the career limiting details. And a VSTO Outlook add-in that handles the items and event and the check for more than 25 recipient that is also used with the using system, system.windows.forms, microsoft.visualstudio.tools.application.runtime, Outlook, that is office.interrupt.outlook, and namespace is also used with the Outlook add-in that provides with the new project that provides with the partial class with this application. So this is the VST Outlook add-in that handles the items and event and checks for more than 25 recipients. So for example, if I am sending out for the more than 25 recipient, that will handle the items and event and also checks whether they are there are multiple receivers, multiple recipients that includes the 25 this as per. So whatsoever the code, whatsoever the data we have, so that is indulged in this one, that is included in this one. This is using system.windows.forms, using Microsoft.outlook or Studio Tools application runtime, Outlook, Microsoft.outlook or Office.intro.outlook, namespace Outlook add-in 1, public partial class this application starter. Again there are the same classes, same object that is carried out. But the main difference is that over there that is the add-in, there is the Outlook, that is the not add-in 1, this is the add-in 1. And this will be used as this application startup event. Sender and the E, yes, both. And this dot item sent plus equals to new, that means we are incrementing one by one as storing in the one value. Then Outlook dot application events 11 items and event handler, this application item sent. So we are again sending out the items that will be displayed with the 1, 11, this application item sent. So as per this example, this application item reference rule can say will be used as a mail item, my item as a outlook.mail item, and if this is not equal to null, so for each outlook.recipient, recipient my item.recipient that will be used as greater than 25, this will be calculating for the values whether members are greater than 25 or not. How this will be calculated? Now, first of all, tell me why this happened. What is the main use of this my item not equals to null? Any idea, anyone? So why this is not equals to null? My question is this. I agree this is the if statement that is used in the loop to satisfy whether the condition is satisfied or not. If it is satisfied, the first part will be carried out. If it is not, then second part will be carried out. I agree with this. But I'm talking about why this happened. Why this is not equals to null. Why this is equals to null. What is the meaning of null not equals to? I'm talking about that one. Yes, if it is the my item not equals to null, then that may be a double equals to, that may be single equals to, everything is okay. So for each, that means if that is null, we can stop. We cannot move further. We cannot see each and every condition because why we waste the time? It is already null, so why we bother that? As simple as. So if it is not equals to null, then we have to bother and move to the next part. So for each outlook.recipients, receipt in my item.recipients, if receipt.addressentry.members.count is greater than 25, so it is greater than 25. As a user, if she really wants to send this email, string message, send mail to with one people, string caption, more than 25 recipients, message box buttons, That is a message box button dot yes or no, and dialog result. This will be given as a output values. Whether you have a my system, my item that is not equals to not, for each part we have to take out the recipient's value in the my item dot recipient, and this is greater than 25. If we count them and it is greater than 25, so ask the user if she really wants to send this email, send them message, send the mail to 0 with the 1 people, use the caption for more than 25 recipients, use the buttons, use the message box button dot yes or no, and this will be used as a result, dialog result. Now, anyone any doubts over here? Why we are using not null? Why we are using dot? Why we are using we can say the curly braces in the zeros and the one? Why we are using double quotes? Why you are using semicolon? Why you are using double slash? Everything is clear. That means your syntax, logic, programming is clear. You have to upload your logic. That means you have to check. For example, best example. If I want to swap two numbers, right? A contains 20, B contains 30. Let's say example 20 and the 30. Now B wants 20 and I want that B contains 20 or the A contains 30. That means swapping of the value, interchanging of the value. What do you think? How will you do that? A very simple program. Yes, you take third variable. That means you take C. Very good. So we can say the temp, any temporary value, any temporary hand. So we put first value either A or B into the temp. Yes, now A becomes empty. Very good. Now put the B value into the A. Like normal we swap the things in the home or the any place, workplace. Yes, we put the B values into the A, that is putting out. Now B becomes empty. So put that temp value into the B. Very good. Now what is the use of temp? That is a temporary variable. So how we can vanish up, how we can throw up. That I fully agree that it is no requirement, but that takes a memory, na? So you can do it. You can use with the void, not with the int that takes 2 bytes. You can use with the void, that is your tab, right? Very good for your this example. So you want, okay, take 5 minutes more for this example. Must finish within 5 minutes. Now next move to the next part, and this is the next if looping, if statement, sorry. If result equals to, now we compare to that is not equals to, we are using single equals to because we are only checking whether it is not equals to null or it is equals to null. Now we are checking two variables, so in this we are using two double equals to. So if result is equals to dialog result dot number, so cancel equals to true. So whatever that is contained in the true, that will be applied to the cancel, then there's a break, curly braces closed. Now why there are 4 curly braces closed? Can anyone tell me? Because we have opened 4 ones, very good. So we have to close these 4s. One is opened over here, one is opened over here. So these are the parts of the if only. One is the main part, that is the namespace part. And when you run the project with the code shown over here, so this launches an Outlook, that is add-ins, and try sending out an email to an alias so that it includes more than 125 or more than 25 people. You might want to go offline first in case you mistype the code. So in case you mistype the code, so if it all works right, the add-in will display a dialog box for online. Otherwise, it will display a message, normal email message to more than 125 people, and you will be able to cancel the email of the cancel the send of the email and exit Outlook to end your debugging sessions. Now this will be used for sending an email to more than 25 people. That will be used to cancel and exit an email, that is the email.exit outlook, to end your debugging. Now there are multiple parts for this. One is a creating the Outlook add-in with the VSTO. One is a discuss VSTO Outlook add-in in more details with the programming Outlook, with the working with the Outlook events. The next is working with the Outlook objects. One is a discuss the Outlook object model. So these are the various parts that is included in the this VSTO, that is included in this Outlook, so that we can make the objects dependent, make the objects hard to use, make the object discuss with the Outlook object model. So these are available with the programming Outlook, these are available with the working with the Outlook events, working with the Outlook objects respectively, that is used with the VSTO object, that is used with the VSTO Outlook. That is schedule that is going on till sending an email to more than 125 people. This will show us for the Outlook, this will show us for the entries. And this is the code where we are going to use the startup and the shutdown. Yeah, show events. For each events, my item not equals to none.